What's up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back to another one. Hope all is well. We're going to talk some more Colorado transfer portal news. Can Coach Prime, the transfer portal is heating up. Can Coach Prime survive the transfer portal wave? There's one wide receiver that I think he absolutely must keep, and we're going to talk about that. I think you guys already know who I'm talking about. He has not said that he was entering the portal, so I hope he's still there. But again, we're getting down to, we got some very important dates here. So today we know it's December 31st. The ball is dropping tonight. And on the 2nd, the transfer portal opens up. So it's going to be an exciting time around college football. With the movement of players, it's like every year is getting worse and worse as far as the players moving around. But you got to think about it like this. Some of these players are not going to ever see an NFL field. Why not get the money now? If somebody is offering them money, why not get it now? So that is my thing. Some players, some of the players that's entering the portal, not all the players are entering for money though. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Let me go over here. Actually, no, I could take this with me. But we're gonna get into some things. They're gonna need to revamp. The Buffaloes are going to need to revamp on everything. They're going to need to revamp in the wide receiver room. Traditionally, with Coach Prime, since he's been there, he's had a really good wide receiver room. So they're going to bring some more people in, I'm sure. Um, we're going to talk about Joseph Williams because he did not, so far, he did not say that he's entering the transfer portal. And as far as production wise, he did really well for the Buffaloes. So hopefully he'll stay right there. But I'm sure after next season he'll command even a bigger bag. But there's a lot going on with this transfer portal with all colleges. But yeah, man, I'm excited about it. Hopefully you guys are too. All right, let me just put a little bit more. Okay, cool. I'm making some tea. Um, it's because we know, man, like Colorado in the past, whether Coach Prime has been at Jackson State or we know that the transfer portal, they be wheeling and dealing. So I don't think this year is going to be no different. We're going to have some players that want the opportunity to play on this big platform, to make a name for themselves. So there's going to be some hidden gems that they're going to find in this portal. So we're going to see if, that come to pass. But let me get to it. A second here. Now, obviously, there's still some major transfer portal activity. We know Dallin Hayden entered the portal, leaving the program after 2 seasons. This creates a need at the rushing game to build that rushing attack room. So they're going to address that in the portal as well. Also, 2 defensive linemen declaring themselves for the NFL draft. Arden Walker, Amari McNeil, they declared for the 2026 NFL draft, further thinning the Buffalo's experience core. But we know they were leaving anyway, just because of eligibility and stuff like that. I guess they could have came back for a graduate season. I'm not sure what Twin is doing though. I'm not sure what Twin is doing. I'm not sure if he's coming back for another season or he's declaring for the NFL draft. I'm not sure. But we're going to see. His brother is a twin. I mean, he's a twin. His brother's a quarterback. I'm not sure what he's doing because him and Arden Walker was some bright spots for that defensive line. They most certainly. So I don't know what his. I'm assuming that he's declaring for the NFL draft, but I'm not sure though. He has the guys. He has the height and everything. He has the length. He's 6'4". He's fast. He's always getting at the quarterback. So I'm not sure if he's coming back for a graduate season. I'm not sure yet, but I haven't heard anything about him. I have to check his Instagram. Now we know that Fernando Lovo, the new athletic director, came from New Mexico, will take over Colorado's athletic leadership starting January 1st, 2026, which is tomorrow, with expectations to stabilize and grow the Buffaloes program. This administration change could impact Coach Prime authority and program direction. Now, with media suggesting his job may hinge on how the transfer portal and offseason play out. That's what some people, they trying to put pressure on Coach Prime. I don't know. Me personally, it a lot of their success is going to come from that transfer portal. If they're going to have success in upcoming season, they got to win in the transfer portal. Not only do they have to win, see, I don't really care about the optics. They have to just land the right person. And you never know what you're going to get until the person gets there. You're really not going to know. You know what I'm saying? I know some people say they played a defensive lineman all this money, he didn't produce. You're not going to know until the person gets there. But the intent was in the right place, but you're just not going to know. That's why it's a gamble. Every college team is taking a gamble in this transfer portal. Now, there are some players that you know you're not going to take a gamble with. They're proven already. The problem is it's hard to get them. This is what I kept stressing with this transfer portal. I'm not trying to put the program down or anything. However, the players that are proven, I'm talking about, they can play. They could go anywhere in the country and play, right? Like a Caleb Downs, like a Caden Proctor, like the wide receiver from Ohio State. They could go anywhere and play. And there's several others out there like that. However, the competition is so fierce right now with the college coaches and the recruiting. Listen, the season never stops. I always say this a continuum. Okay. The real competition is right now. That's the real competition. Some people think the competition is going to the national title game. No, the real competition is actually competing for these players. I'm talking about the players that are going to produce. It's very hard to get them. I'm not saying that Coach Prime can't acquire these players because he acquired the services of Travis Hunter. He has acquired the services of Jordan Seaton. So I'm not leaving him out of the race. Even though he might, I think he's at a disadvantage because he's at Colorado. And I'm not trying to put him down. He's at a disadvantage. He's not at the major programs. He's not at a Texas A&M. He's not at a Texas. He's not at a Florida State. He's not at a Florida. If he was at Florida and he was at Florida State, I will put him in the top 5. As far as recruiting right now, I will put him in the top 5. I'm talking about he will be competing with the likes of Ohio State, Michigan, Texas A&M, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolinas. He will be competing with them if he was at at these institutions. But Colorado still has a lot of work to do. I'm not even just talking about football, just the overall, just Colorado, period. So there's a lot to obtain in this transfer portal, right? Because it's not so easy to replace people. People say, oh, well, when one person is leaving, it's open the door for another person. In theory, that is true. Okay? In theory, that is true, but it's hard to replace people because you don't know what you're going to get until they get there. Trust me, I hear what you guys are saying. You guys are listening to me. I hear what you're saying. You taking shots. I hear you. Yeah, my what I'm doing here is not fancy. What I'm doing here is not fancy. But what I'm speaking the truth though. That's all that matters. I'm not doing nothing fancy. I don't have the pomp and circumstances and stuff like that. But one thing I'm not doing is bullshitting people. That's not what I'm doing. I'm telling you right now, when I say this, I'm not trying to put the program down. I don't expect them. I expect them to be at the bottom of the Big 12. And that's realistically speaking. Okay? That's realistically speaking. The bottom of the Big 12. And I'm not saying that, and right now they gotta show me. I'm in the show me state now. They gotta show me. It's hard to replace certain people. It's hard because let me tell you this. I'm not talking about going to pick up a bunch of people that was on the third and fourth string. Anybody could do that. I'm talking about picking up players that are proven to can play, that are proven. Do you realize how hard that is to go get them? It's extremely hard. That's why I'm being realistic here and thinking it's going to take a few years for them to turn this program around. It's going to take a few years. And when I say that, I'm not trying to put nobody down or anything. I'm not trying to knock nobody's coaching. It's going to take quite a bit of time to turn this program around. And let me explain why again. Thank you for the new membership. Let me explain why. The first year that Coach Prime took over, okay, we got to go back to the beginning. It was a complete roster turnaround, which put them at a disadvantage. When Coach Prime went in there and had that speech, it rubbed some people the wrong way. Now, me personally, I wouldn't have been rubbed the wrong way. I'm like, I'm a dog. I'm what you looking for. That'd have been my mentality. Okay. But when he said to the players, when you only win one game and they got rid of coaches, he said, who you think is next? He said that. That rubbed them the wrong way, probably. Like, who do you think is next? They got rid of all the coaches. Who you think is next? You. I'm bringing in my people. See, I wouldn't have took that the wrong way. I would have took that as some competition coming. Oh, I got some competition on the way now. So, but it rubbed a lot of people in the program the wrong way. Um, People are hitting me up on the back end. They're explaining. They said that rubbed them the wrong way. I'm talking about people that's close to the program, and they're not. And here's the thing: they're fake. They're being fake because they're not telling Coach Prime this. They're being fake though. They're not telling them. That rubbed them the wrong way. And so the first year, like I said, it was a complete roster overall. They're at a disadvantage. Now the second year, they were able to acquire more people. They brought in the likes of Chidozie. He brought in the likes of Chidozie and a few others to revamp that program. And look, they already had a baseline. They had Travis and Shiloh and Silman Craig and them, right? And Shador and Jimmy Horn, right? And then they brought in Wester, right? So they added on to the foundation. That's why they were successful in year two, because part of the foundation was already built already. Okay? Part of it was already built already. So they had success in year two. They got to a bowl game. Now in year three, I already knew that year three wasn't going to be nothing because they had to rebuild again. I said it's going to take about 3 years for him to rebuild this program from last year because he lost so many people to the NFL. You can't replace that. It's hard to replace a Jimmy Horn that really wants it. You know what I'm saying? That really wants it instead of coming there for a check and just chilling. You know how I know that was the case? Coach Prime said when they got their butts kicked, there was players on the sidelines just chilling and laughing. It's hard to replace that. So I know what Uncle Neely and them are saying. When one person leaves, somebody else is coming in, but you don't know who's coming in that door. You knew what you had in Jimmy Horn. Let me tell y'all something real quick. And let me be clear with you right now. And this is content creators as well. I don't have all the pomp and circumstances, but I don't bullshit nobody. I'm telling the truth here. I'm being real and I'm 100% authentic. Okay? I don't have no gimmicks. I'm telling you how I see it. You can't replace a Jimmy Horn. It's hard to replace a Jimmy Horn. If you're going to replace a Jimmy Horn, you're going to have to pay for it. Okay? You can't nickel and dime it. Okay, we can go out and get 3 players for that price. You're nickel and diming. You're not winning that way. You're not winning. This is no knock on Coach Prime. He got to deal with what he got to deal with. He got to work with what he got to work with. You can't nickel and dime this process because the other top programs are not nickel and diming. You can't nickel and dime. Okay, this person leaving, he want this much. We can go get 3 people for that price. You're nickel and diming. You're nickel and diming. It's not going to work because you don't know who you're bringing in. You don't know. You guys said last year this team was better than the year before. That's what was said to us. That's not true. You guys were not better. So let me just finish. I'm not blaming them. Let me just finish this. Let me cook real quick, Keith. Just let me cook real quick. I'm not blaming them. Let me cook. So the thing is, well, I know you may not talking to me, but I don't want that to be the theory, that the atmosphere here, because the coaches are to blame. Yes, they are. Now, I'm gonna get into that in a second. They are to blame. They are. They are 100% to blame here. Okay, you cannot nickel and dime to a championship. That's not happening. Indiana did nickel and dime because they got a whale over there. Um, they got a whale over there, Mark Cuban. They're not nickel and diming. You know, when somebody say if somebody's leaving, you can't just go get 3 players for that price. You're nickel and diming. Now, you might win. See, they're hoping that they're going to win with at least one of them. No, you need more than one dog on defense. Okay? Tafiq couldn't do it by himself. Okay? Tafiq couldn't do it by himself. Travis Hunter couldn't do it by himself. You had Silman Craig out there. You had Shiloh Sanders. Okay? You had Hood out there. He didn't do it by himself. He didn't do it by himself. You need more than one dog. And you got to go pay for the dogs. You got to go pay for them. Or you can grow them from high school. But guess what? When you keep them in high school, you have to keep them on the team. You can't just let them leave. You're not going to win this way. This is not going to be a winning program. Not for a while. And I'm not saying that to diss the program. I'm being realistic here. Now, I would be sitting there lying to you if I say they're getting ready to compete for the Big 12 championship. I would be lying to you. That's not happening. Now, the reason why it's not happening, because like I said, let's go back to the first year. They brought in some players, but they had a complete roster overhaul. Then the year 2, they reinforced their foundation. They brought in the likes of Chidozie and some few other people. That strengthened their foundation. So that's why they were able to go to a bowl game that quickly, because they had some really good players on the team. They had a lot of NFL players on that team. That's why they got to a bowl game. Now that the NFL players left, now we're on the coaches now. Now what can you do? Because your NFL players left. They were saving you. The NFL players that they had, they were the ones saving them. Okay? But not one player didn't do it all by himself. You guys acquired a lot of people. That's why you guys saw success. Now, in year 3, I knew it was going to take another 3 years to rebuild this again. Why? Because they lost everybody to the NFL. Even though Chidozie should have went to the NFL as well, he should have. But they lost everybody to the NFL. They lost a lot of people, and they have to rebuild. And guess what their mentality was? Oh, we're better than the team before. We're better than Travis and them. You know why? Because they're looking at the players they acquired. Oh man, I acquired this guy. But look, yeah, on paper, you had a good quarterback that you paid a lot of money to. But you don't know what he's gonna do until he get there. Guess what happened? He didn't produce. You thought he was gonna produce. You thought you had a superior running game because you thinking because the quarterback he got jets on him. We got a superior running game. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. So you don't know what you're gonna. It's hard to replace a Shador. It's hard to replace a Silman Craig, even though y'all replaced Silman Craig. Yes, y'all did. Y'all got lucky with Tafiq. Y'all replaced him, but guess what? Let him go because he's not worth it. We can go get 3 people for his price. That's the mentality you guys have. Now I would be lying. I would be remiss if I say y'all didn't replace him, but y'all replaced him with Tafiq. But Tafiq is gone. He gone now. Now you got to go out there and find some more players. Oh yeah, this if one person leave, another door opens up. That is true. But y'all open the door up to the quarterback, they didn't do nothing for y'all. Y'all open the door up for him. But you guys thought on paper, oh, this is going to be real good. You don't know until you get there because it's a new program. The player has to learn a new program. Sometimes the grass is not always green on the other side. Sometimes the players shouldn't enter the portal and go somewhere else. They should stay where they're at. Khalil Benson. Khalil should have stayed where he was. But he thought the grass was green on the other side. The grass is greener where he was. He just didn't know that. The grass was much greener where he was. And it's not no knock on CU. It's just that you got to learn a whole new program. You got whole new coaches you got to prove yourself to. But there are some players that's entering the portal. They don't have to prove themselves. They could play wherever they go. They're not getting those players because they cost a lot of money. They're not getting those. So don't expect to be some blockbuster people coming in. Don't expect that. It takes a few years. It's going to take about 3 years for them to turn this program around. I'm being realistic here. It's going to take 3 years. Why do I say that? Because they have a lot of good high school players coming in. You have to develop them. So it's going to take a while. The problematic thing is they are developing high school, but they're leaving. And that's a problem a lot of programs are facing. But CU just is not established yet enough to take the hit. They're not established enough to weather the storm in the transfer portal, guys. They're not. Let's be realistic. They're not. They're not. They're not like a Texas A&M. They're not like a Alabama that can afford to have 25 people into the portal and still win next year. They haven't built it up yet. He hasn't built it up to the point yet to where that's possible. It takes about three. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a few years. I know. That's what they said last year. They had a few good players coming in. That's what they said last year. I'm telling you, it's going to take to build this thing. It's going to take about 3 years, 4 maybe. I'm talking Big 12 titles. It's going to take a while. Yes, they had good players came in last year. Everybody was saying that last year. Oh, they good. We got some good players. We got Salter coming in. He fooled me. I thought he was. I said, listen, if he can run for close to 1,000 yards and he can throw for all that what he threw at Liberty, we now have a Heisman Trophy winner. I said that. But shit, when he got started, Lord have mercy, he looked like a deer in headlights out there. And somebody told me, because he's facing better competition. That's what somebody told me. They said no, he's good, but he was good where he was, but he's facing Big 12 competition. He's facing Power Five competition. He said that's a lot different. He said the defensive linemen are faster. They're bigger and faster. So that's what he was facing. But he looked like a deer in headlights. And here's another thing. He probably could play, but he was in another system. He was in another system, and it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. But we said that last year. You know what I'm saying? And the coaches made a lot of mistakes last year. There's no way that I don't know. I don't know if Taufik was injured in the beginning of the season. I'm not sure, but if he wasn't, they made a mistake because he should have been out there. He probably was injured or something. No, they're not squandering the season. They're not squandering it. They just have to keep building. They got to keep adding to the foundation. Now they have Joseph Williams there. They have somebody that's a good foundational player. I hope they keep him. I hope he don't enter that. If he enter that portal, I'm really gonna sound the alarm. Hopefully he stays because Joseph Williams seems like he can make some plays for us. And Jordan Seaton, like some players, they just can't leave because they leave, then I don't know how they're gonna. I mean, they like I said, it's gonna take a few years for them to rebuild this thing. But we got to understand they had an advantage because they had Shador and Travis and Shiloh and Silman Craig, Chidozie, you know what I'm saying? Wester, Jimmy Horn Jr., you know what I'm saying? Will Shepard. Guys, they had a really good team. They had a NFL team. They did. They did. And that's what carried them to the bowl game. If they had kept all those players for this season, they would have been another bowl game. But it's hard to replace certain players. You have to build up to that. You know what I'm saying? You have to build the superstars. It takes a while. Some players, they're plug and play. They come already ready to go. They're ready to go already. But it just realistically speaking, right now, I'm expecting some big acquisitions in the transfer portal. But some of the top dogs in the transfer portal, they're not coming here. They're not. They're not. They're gonna be. I mean, you got Lane Kiffin in their ear. You got um, Kirby Smart in their ear. You know what I'm saying? You got all these other big programs in their ear that's trying to offer them the bag. I'm talking about the players that are ready to start now. That's who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the ones that about to prove themselves and is about to peak. I'm talking about the ones that are one and done for the NFL. I'm talking about those players. It's going to be hard to get those. Those players could change a program around ASAP. If Coach Prime had about 5 players on defense that are one and done for the NFL, and then had about another 4 players or 5 players on offense that are one and done for the NFL, he's now in a bowl game next season. He's in a bowl game. He's in a bowl game. But if you spend a few years building up your freshmen and building up what you have now, you could get to a bowl game in a few years. It took Indiana about 3 to 4 years to do what he's doing now. I think it took about 4. It took a lot of money though, but they got there. Yeah, Williams is good. You know, he's good. And I was just looking at his production. He's going to be good. And he did not say that he's entering the portal. I haven't heard from him, which is a good thing. So you said Ben is not him, but so when Travis and them left, I said, "Damn, they really got to rebuild." That's what I was thinking. I said, "They got to rebuild, bro. They got a lot of rebuilding to do." And it's okay because other programs are like that too. That's going to come up. Look how long it took Vanderbilt. It took Vanderbilt a few years. Remember, Vanderbilt was at the bottom of the SEC, and it took Vanderbilt about 3 to 4 years to get to where they are now. It just takes a while. It's hard because of the NIL and the players entering the portal. It's very difficult, but it's not. It's not. It's not obtainable. You can obtain it, but it just takes a minute. And I understand that fans are getting frustrated because they want to win now. Guys, you're not being realistic here. Didn't I say they lost all these people to the NFL? It's hard to replace. Guys, they lost a Heisman Trophy winner. Yeah, so they lost the Heisman Trophy winner, man. They lost Shiloh Sanders. He was always at the ball. They lost Silman Craig. They replaced Silman Craig, though. They replaced Silman Craig, but he's in the portal now. With Tafiq. They also replaced Travis with Hood, but he went to the portal. Yeah, they replaced him because he's on his way to the NFL. He's on his way. They're projecting him to either go in the second round. They definitely project him to go in the second round, if not first. But it looks like he's going in the second. So that's an NFL player they lost. So it takes a minute to rebuild this thing, realistically speaking. I'm going to say about 3 years from now, or 2 years. I could say two because he worked rather quickly to get these high school superstars. That's where it's going to come. He need them superstars. It's going to come from high school. Because as far as competing, let's say, for example, if Caleb Downs is not going to the NFL, let's say if Caleb Downs into the transfer portal, we're not getting him. We're not going to get him. Unless Caleb Downs just want to play for coach, then we'll get him. Unless he like Travis, like I want to play for him. I don't care about the money, whatever. We can obtain him. But it's very hard to get players that's plug and play. I'm talking about they could play anywhere in the country. They don't see somebody like Caleb Downs. He don't have to worry about coming to Colorado having to compete. He don't have who's competing with him. He don't have to compete. I mean, he's competing, but nobody's taking his position. Those players, man, if they can land one or two, then that's a victory. But if you're sitting up here expecting them to be at the top of the Big 12, you're crazy. You have to be realistic here. So I don't want to hear it next season. Oh my God, we're losing this and that. What do you expect? They're rebuilding. They're rebuilding. Now I didn't expect them to get belt to ass back to back like that. I didn't expect that, but it happens. Um, so now just looking at the transfer portal realistically here. Um, they have some positive. They have Julian Lewis, Juju, and he decided not to enter the transfer portal. I hope because he's still there, so he's not there. But players like Amarion Miller, Tafiq Beard, Byard, Draylon Miller, Ryan Staub, Dallin Hayden, Sean Myers, John Slaughter, Brandy Kopetz, the tight end. Now he entered the portal. Reginald Hughes, linebacker, Samuel Okunlola, Tafiq Thomas, Christian Hudson, all of them into the transfer portal. Um, Joseph Williams, he was the second most productive receiver on the roster. Please, they got to keep him. They have to. He's the second most productive receiver on the roster in terms of yardage. Okay, the third most that produced the most was Sincere Brown, but he don't have no more eligibility. I think he's declaring for the NFL. But Joseph Williams is who I'm keying in on. So hopefully he's a good foundational player. Um, Hakeem Williams at occasional big plays. I don't know if he's in the portal or not. Hakeem Williams. I don't think he is. I don't think he is. Remember Hakeem Williams, he's there. He's a receiver. He could be big coming up. He could be big. But yeah, we know Staub. He was the backup quarterback for 3 seasons. He's entering the portal. Um, hopefully he goes somewhere and start. Go to a team that need him. Some of these players may follow some of the coaches, so we got to look and see where they're going. Definitely going to see. But the most production was on Marion Miller in the wide receiver room. And we're losing him. So we're hoping to get a receiver in that can replace him. And like I said, it's hard to replace good receivers. Okay? That I'm talking about that want it. That they not thinking about them, but they thinking about the NFL. Okay? That is very hard to replace. You got to pay for it. But Colorado still could win. How can they win? They could find some players that are budding, that's getting ready to be superstars, and they can acquire them. That's how they're going to win in this portal. They will know how much did they win in the portal when the season starts. That's when the answers are, the questions are going to be answered. How successful were they in the portal? We're going to find out when the season starts, because you don't know what you're going to get until a player gets there. You don't know, because we had a lot of praise and hope for the quarterback. We did. Even I did. I said, man, do you see how he was running at Liberty? My cousin told me, he was like, bro, that was Liberty. He in the Big 12 now. Yeah, Hakeem is still in Boulder, so he's a really good asset. Hakeem and Joseph Williams. So, and we don't know. We might have a young receiver there that's ready to be a superstar now. We don't know because he don't have another year under his belt. Now he's growing, and he might be ready to show improve next season. So next season's going to answer a lot of questions. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no more hype now. See, we there ain't no more hype with this team. There's no more. The hype is gone. You know what I'm saying? Last year he was like, "No, we're going to be better. We're better than last year's team." All that's out the window now. Now it's showing improving. I'd rather for you to prove it better than you could tell us. You see what I'm saying? But for me, I'm realistic. If they if they have an okay season, so season, I'm not knocking them for that because you just still rebuilding. But we do know in college football, it's all about what have you done for me lately. Okay? Because a lot of people they get amnesia. I go back to the season they had with Travis. Ain't nobody trying to hear it no more. They said, man, that was 2 seasons ago. We want to know what's up with now. Okay, yeah, he brought us a Heisman Trophy winner, this and that. We want to know what's going on right now. Travis in the NFL. So it's all about what have you done for me lately. But I do think that they're gonna try to put him on the hot seat if they have another bad season. But they're not being realistic here. He's rebuilding. Ain't nobody say nothing. It took Indiana about 4 years to rebuild. It took nobody talked about Vanderbilt. They've been on the bottom of the SEC for a long time. It took them a while to rebuild. You know, it does. Like let's see what Nebraska do next year because they lost their quarterback. Let's see if they could bring another quarterback in that'll be just as productive because they might take a severe hit now. When you lose a quarterback like that, you might take a severe hit, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Now it's all about who can he recruit to bring in there. Is he gonna go get the quarterback from Miami? Because the quarterback from Miami, he had a no, not Miami, Florida. He didn't really do so well at Florida, if you ask me. He didn't. It didn't work out. But he still have a big name though. He still have SEC experience, and he's okay. He's not like garbage. You know what I'm saying? And then you have a quarterback that's leaving Arizona State. He got a big bag waiting for him. So we're gonna see, like somebody like Nebraska, they have to win in the portal. Nebraska has to absolutely win. They have to go get a quarterback. We don't need a quarterback. That's one thing I can say about Colorado. That's a positive thing. We don't need a quarterback. But the hype stuff is done now. Ain't nobody worried about no more hype. Okay, we don't care about the hype no more. Because last year they said, "Oh no, this team is better than last year." That's what was said. Now here's the thing: it may have been better. You know what I'm saying? I argue that the team may have been better, but I think something happened because I remember when they all went live. I remember that. See, they gonna be like I'm capping. They all had went live after a game one time, and I could tell by the way they were looking at each other, it's like they were like talking in code. I'm like, they're all leaving. And if I'm right, we getting ready to we about to brace ourselves for a big hit. If I'm really right, we about to brace ourselves for a huge hit, and I hope that don't happen. Yeah, Nebraska done. I mean, they lost their quarterback. Um, they took a big hit. So I'm looking at Nebraska too. Like, can Nebraska acquire another quarterback? They say O is going to Arizona. Arizona State or Arizona? Which O? Omarion? Oh yeah, Omarion. Well, we'll see. Arizona might be a good fit, for him, and whatnot. I'm thinking about that Arizona. Yeah, Arizona might be a nice little spot right there. You know, um, yeah, that's some good possibilities right there, Arizona, because Arizona looking to try to do some things. They get people in the NFL all the time. So yeah, Arizona, we'll see what he does. But a lot of these top players, they have an idea where they're going. You know, so we'll see January 2nd. We'll see if he make his intentions known January 2nd. You said Omarion is going to LSU. He is going to man. He go to LSU. That's going to be big. And they got Lane Kiffin too. Lane gonna use him for sure. He gonna be extra motivated too because he's a senior. He gonna be extra motivated trying to get to the league. Oh man. But we need some players that's hungry as Jimmy Horn Jr. You remember how hungry Jimmy Horn was? We need some players that hungry. You know what I'm saying? Xavier Weaver hungry. Come on, man. Chidozie hungry. So, you know what I'm saying? Tafiq Beard hungry. Byard hungry. So it can happen. It can happen. Now they could get lucky, like I said, and get a bunch of players that are ready to go now that nobody's talking about. But I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't understand why can't he get another year? Like, can he play as a graduate student? Or maybe he didn't graduate yet. Because I think he could benefit by coming back another year. Really could. Happy New Year, Max. Hungry dogs is the only way. Look, let me just say this. I'm glad you said that. Look, they don't need the top dogs. They need some people that's hungry, that's ready to be top dogs. 'Cause you can get them all day. Because you're not gonna get like a Caleb Downs. I'm talking about them type of players in the portal. You're not gonna get them. But you're gonna get some players that They ready to go now. And I know Coach Prime can see talent. That's one thing I'm going to give him. He can see talent. You know what I'm saying? He can see it. So, look, never count his eye out. Never count that out because he got an eye for this. So they just need the players that want it, desire. And that in that interview, they need to say, how much film do you watch? I need you to watch film like nobody's business. Because when Ray Lewis came to see our team, only 3 people raised their hand talking about they go hard in the film room. I need you to go hard in the film room, and they'll be okay. You said they bringing back 30-year-old NBA players back. Anything is possible. Who's coming back? 30-year-old NBA players. Who's that? Yeah, that's Williams. He is hungry. See, and look, he didn't enter the portal, but I know he hungry. That's what they need. They need to keep him. They don't need somebody to say, "Oh, well, you only had this amount of stats. You go ahead and go somewhere." They don't need that. See, the thing is, I don't dislike Neely, but he made a crucial mistake. He made a crucial mistake. He should not have said that. Just leave it alone. We already know. Yeah, that's true. You said we already know. We already know that some players are leaving. But I'm talking about the ones like a Joseph Williams. You see what I'm saying? You said some scrub from Barcelona, and okay. Um, you just need somebody hungry. That's it. And then I can't remember this famous quote. He said, "You might have the best military in the world, but you give me a bunch of warriors, we gonna beat you." All you need is a bunch of warriors. That's it. That's ready to compete and that's ready to be premier. That's all they need. They can go get them all day because they went and got Joseph Williams. You see what I'm saying? If they can go get Joseph Williams, they can go get some more Joseph Williams in the portal. They can. So I never count Coach Prime eye for talent out. I never count that out. He might be down this year, but he ain't gonna be down for long. Give him 3 years. I'm telling you right now, he ain't gonna leave there a loser. I think he's gonna finish out his contract, but he's definitely not leaving a loser. He's not. Watch. Remember, I said it's gonna be, but see the fans they gotta have a little patience. They gotta have the patience of the Cleveland Brown fans. They gotta have that type of patience. Did you see how the Cleveland Brown fans be rowdy in the stadium? They just happy to see some football. That's some real fans right there, yo. That's some real shit. Them Cleveland Brown fans, that's some real fans right there. You see what I'm saying? They like, we don't give a fuck about our season, but at least we can see Shador. You see what I'm saying? At least we can see the sack master. That's some real fans. Instead of yo, let me just say this real quick. They need to have a meeting, but they don't need to do anything. You know how I'm talking. I'm not saying coach need to do anything. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying he needs to do anything. I'm just talking in general, right? I have to say that because he don't need to do shit. Um, the 0 to 60 guy, the 0 to 60 guy, he just made it real personal again. And I don't know what it is, dude. He said that he's mad as fuck, guys, that they didn't want his players. You know what I'm saying? He said, he said some shit. He made it real personal, dog. He he said something that could literally get coach sanctioned. He said something in his last joint. I couldn't believe he said that. He must not ever want to talk to Coach Prime ever again. I think he might have burned that bridge. He might have burned that bridge after saying this. He may have burned that bridge. And the thing is, he said that they were purposely sitting the Colorado players up in the stadium and the rest of the players were standing on the field. And they just did that to appease Colorado, but they weren't going to take none of the players. Now, you know what he said? He said that, yeah, Coach Prime is using school money to take private jets to go see Shador play. He said that. If you don't believe me, go look at his last live chat. He said it. Dude, I couldn't believe he said that. Let me tell you this, guys. I'm not pocket watching, but it's a known fact that Coach Prime has been rich since the 80s. It's been a known fact. Did he realize that Coach Prime played for the Yankees? Did he know that? If anybody don't know that, I'm telling you now, he played for the New York Yankees, man. Do he realize that he played in a World Series and a Super Bowl? He's the only player that I can think of that played in a World Series game in a Super Bowl. Guys, he's been rich since the 1980s. And you remember that famous thing with him and Jerry Jones? Jerry Jones said I had to have him. He said I had to have him. He made him the richest cornerback in all of the NFL. Remember that? And then Jerry Jones said he went to the players, say how they felt about. Of course, they're not going to say nothing to Jerry Jones. He said, "How y'all feel about Prime coming in?" He said, "I had to have him." Look. I tell you one thing. Jerry Jones, he break bread with people. That's the only thing I give him. He will break some bread with you now. You know, especially if you get there talking in his office about the possibilities. Oh, he gonna break some bread. You said they think they're in the NFL already. Well, yeah, that's true. But see, but see, here's another thing. They'll get that money, and then now they feeling like superstars because they got paid. And now they ain't watching no damn film. They may have had that problem too. See, the thing is, guys, we could sit here and blame the coaches all day long. Yeah, the coaches take blame too. However, the coach can't hold your hand and you watch film. The coach can't hold your hand. That ain't up to the coach to sit there and watch film. When Ray Lewis said that they only 3 people raised their hand, okay? That means either they didn't give a damn or they checked out. One or the other. I knew that wasn't Tafiq. I know Tafiq was watching film. I could tell. He was prepared. But here's the thing. Matt said that. He said, yeah. He said using the school plane or the funds to get a private jet to go watch your kid. He said that. Dude, when he said that, he now burned the bridge. I know that got back to coach. I know it did. He burned a bridge now. Let me tell you something, Matt. He will never take none of your kids. Never. You burn the bridge. In fact, if I was him, I wouldn't even want you around the program because you're a cancer to the program. And I don't like using that word. Let me not say that. You're problematic. You're problematic. And this is not me being a prime sexual. Okay? I'm not a prime sexual. But you accused him of using school funds to get a private jet to go to the Cleveland Browns game. That's what you said. And you said at least he could have wore a Colorado jersey or something, or a Colorado hat. Now, Matt, let me just say this, Matt. I don't dislike you. I like some of your stuff. I think you're cool, but you coming off as a hater. You are. And the thing is, you may have a reason to hate. Maybe you felt slighted. You know what I'm saying? That they don't have you like more involved with the program. You know what I'm saying? And you played there, so I get it. But you may have burned a bridge. You may have. You may have burned a bridge. And the thing is, all you had to do was talk to him. You don't. And he's saying that people are not answering their phone. So there's more to meet the eye to this. And I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Now, if that's true, that they kept the Colorado players in the stands and had the rest of the people on the field, and they weren't going to select no Colorado players, and I feel you. That's kind of messed up because Colorado do have some NFL players in that state. So that's kind of messed up. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you got to pick up the phone and call Coach Prime himself. Now, maybe you couldn't call him last offseason because Coach was dealing with something. You see what I'm saying? He was dealing with something. But you getting emotional. And the thing is, it's okay. You're a human being. Humans do get emotional. But you're not thinking before you talk. You might want to think a little bit more before you talk because you're burning bridges. And you keep saying you keep alluding to the fact that this guy is Coach Prime replacement. Do you realize Coach Prime said that coaching is his passion, and he's only in his 50s. Coach Saban retired when he was in his 70s. We have a Raiders coach that's in his 70s. Bill Belichick is in his 70s. If he want to, he could coach into his 70s. Okay? So I'm not thinking that that's the guy's his replacement. He's the top dog there. He's the one that's bringing all the attention to Colorado. He was the one that brought game day to Colorado. He brought game day there. He brought RG3 and all them there. And Brady Quinn and all of them. Shout out to Brady Quinn, Chicago Bears quarterback. You feel me? He brought Brady Quinn there. Game day. Okay? He brought excitement back to Colorado. He brought you a Heisman Trophy winner. Let's not forget now, if Coach Prime leaves, this program is back in the toilet. Let's not forget that now. Let's not forget that. See, I can't forget that. Coach Prime is the reason why we getting views. Everybody in here know that. Let's not get beside ourselves now. Well, Bucky too. Bucky's the reason. Okay? Bucky's the reason we getting the views. And you too. Because you started your page when Coach Prime got there. You sure did. You didn't have 0 to 60 page podcasts before that. So things are not perfect. Yes, it's the coach's fault too. They got their at fault, but nothing is perfect. Okay? It takes a few years to build a program. Nothing is perfect. You know what I'm saying? Give the man a few years. He just got there. He just finished his third season. Ah, damn. Shit, Rome wasn't built overnight now. Rome was not built overnight. I don't care what nobody say. Rome was not built overnight. Yes, coach want to win. Of course, coach want to win. He want to win better than you do. All he did was win in his career. Didn't he win two? Listen, correct me if I'm wrong. He won 2 Super Bowls. See, a lot of people, they forget he won 2 Super Bowls with the 49ers and with the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? He played in a World Series game. So he's been winning. He went to the Hall of Fame. He's been winning everywhere. He don't like to lose. He don't like to lose. That was embarrassing for him to lose. Now, you acting like he don't know the X's and O's. He does know the X's and O's. But he can't play no more. That's the thing. He gotta rock with the players that he has. You know what I'm saying? It just takes a while. But for you to say that he's using their money to get private planes to go see Shador play, and the way you said it, like, I'm just gonna go reveal this and throw him under the bus. That was bad, bro. Because you know why that's bad? Because people are gonna interpret that. Well, you could certainly use that budget to go acquire some players. But you're using that money to take private planes to go see Shador play. Let me tell you something, sir. I don't know Coach Prime personally, but this is a matter of public information. I know this man got money. That's a matter of public information. Sir, he's literally been rich ever since you were in grammar school. He's been taking private planes ever since you were in grammar school, okay? So please, and that's not me being a prime sexual. That's a matter of fact. He's been taking private planes since you were in grammar school, okay? Since you were a snot-nosed kid, okay? Before you even thought about playing for the Jets. You think he using the school funds to go get a private plane to go to a Cleveland Browns game? You're crazy. He been had money. I don't know what this dude. Did you see his rant? His ranch? They think he just got to. No, he been had money. He don't need that. Listen, he's coaching because it's his passion. He's not coaching for the money. Yeah, you're gonna give him his fair pay though. You're gonna give him his fair pay, but he ain't coaching for the money. You see them endorsement deals he got. How long has he been? Let's not even talk about Hall of Fame or player. How long has he been commentating? Anybody know? Coach Prime was commentating well over 10 years as a commentator and one of the best to do it. When he's one of the top to do it, he's like at the top 10. John Madden, John Madden is up there. Um, Terry Bradshaw, a bunch of others, and he's up there with them. O.J. Simpson, and he's up there with him. Yeah, I said O.J. He's one of the best on-field color analysts on the planet. He was at the time before he got in trouble. So don't sit up here and act like this man ain't been rich forever. He's been rich forever. He just don't act like it. But no, he's been rich forever. You said Chad. Who is Chad Brown? Who's Chad Brown? Yeah, in 2001. He's been rich forever. He's been getting commentating money. Did you know he was like the Dick Vitale of college football? Let me explain it to you. When Dick Vitale used to call you a diaper dandy, that means you're going to the NBA. When Coach Prime used to commentate the NFL Combine, he said that kid is a dog. That kid went on to the NFL and had a good career. Go ask Travis Kelce. Go ask him. Go look back at what he said about Travis Kelce. Go look. You said a former Buff and Steelers linebacker. Oh, Chad. Yeah, I know you talking about. My bad, yo. Yeah, Chad. I know you talking about. Yeah. I know you talking about. Yeah. Chicago Bears, yo. He played in the league well over 10 years. Yeah, I know who Chad is. Yeah, NFL commentating, MLB endorsements, TV shows, documentaries, movies, coaching salary, except this man has been rich forever. Okay? Now don't let him fool you when him and Shiloh had that confrontation when he was like about the Christmas presents. He's like, it's been rough for you. No, he's been rich. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. He is not hurting at all. He's never been hurting. Never. He could squander money and make it back the next year. But the fact that he said that, now watch what he gonna say. Oh, you prime sexuals getting your feelings. You the one got in your feelings and said that he using the school money to take private planes to go see Shador play. You the one said that. And I'm commenting on it. See, he gets an attitude when I comment on it. And what did he say? He said some people that don't matter. You could say you don't matter. You could say that. It's different than you saying it right there on that camera. That's different for you to say that. It's different for you to say that. Don't think I'm just like some nobody out here just because you played in the NFL and you played for the Jets and you played. Fuck you, man. You say that to my face. I bet you to be different. You called me a prime sexual to my face. I'm just as big as you are. We're the same size, actually. We're the same size. We're the same size, bro. But I'm not taking it there because I'm older than you. I'm an elder statesman. You know what I'm saying? I'm older than you. You know what I'm saying? I'm an OG to you. Okay? So I understand why your age generation, because he's not Generation X. He's a millennial. And they, he act a certain way. I get it. You don't think before you talk. You know what I'm saying? You don't think before you talk. You sit up here accusing him of misappropriating school funds to go take a private jet to go see Shador play. That's misappropriating funds. That's what you're accusing him of doing. Now, I'm telling you, you and Chad Brown, I'm glad y'all not around because y'all haters. I'm glad y'all not around. He did right not taking none of your players. Maybe that's why Tafik is leaving, because you represent him. Your agency represent Tafik. Maybe that's why he not staying. Maybe that's why. You said Matt is a incognito type of dude, bro. What does that mean? Like he on the low with his hate? Like what does that mean? Like he on the low with it? He on the low with his hate? Yeah, babe, we got the people that listen to me, they're baby boomers, right? We got my audience, I don't have a young audience. Well, we're young. I mean, it's all in the state of mind. We have a mature audience over here. Baby boomers, Generation X, and so forth. It's mainly Generation X and baby boomers. Yeah, undercover hater. I like that. I like that. Man, he incognito with it. No, he not even incognito with it no more, Peter. You said you old. Shit. I mean, shit, old is a state of mind, man. If you feel old, you old. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with being a senior. Y'all get some discounts. I'm waiting on mine. Mm. Y'all get discounts on airfare, everything. So trust me, I'm gonna wait for my AARP card. As soon as I get it, I'm getting all my discounts. Because they sitting up here trying to assault me with car insurance. Wait till I become a senior. Oh yeah, Incognito. No, Incognito's the real dude though. I met him. He's real though. Richie Incognito. Nah, Richie is real. You know what I'm saying? That whole bullying incident. I knew somebody that played on the team at the time. With the Dolphins. That wasn't really bullying. That's just something they do. And a friend of mine, he was on the practice squad. And he said, bro, man, he said, yo, Richie's the coolest dude, man. He said, Richie, if you were like low on money, he got you. He said, bro, he said, I'm on a practice squad. I felt like I was in the NFL hanging around with them. He said wherever he went, Richie had it, yo. They went to the strip bar, whatever. He said it's just like how the locker room is, like they don't do that much so more anymore. But back in the day, it was a little hazing going on. Everybody went through it. I went through it in high school. Went through a little hazing. It's a rite of passage. You see what I'm saying? It's like we look up to the upperclassmen. See, these young kids, they don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people don't have respect no more. Just like how like what Matt is doing it, that's like lack of respect. Whether you like what he's doing or not, you still gotta have respect for people. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like how he coaching or not, or how he running the program, maybe you don't like Coach Prime there, but you still gotta have some respect, man. That's no wonder why Colorado ain't successful. You got to deal with these dudes, man. These coaches not gonna stay there. You got to deal with people like this. Your program has been trashed for over a decade. It's been trashed before Coach Prime got there. It's been trashed. As a matter of fact, Gonzalez, he had to transfer. He had to transfer to Oregon, and then he went to the NFL. Yeah, I know what y'all gonna say. Well, we had Christian Gonzalez and all that. Yeah, but he went to Oregon though. Yes, he did. He went to Oregon, and y'all lost Jerry Rice's son to USC. Cause y'all trash. Yeah, y'all had some good players now. Don't get me wrong. Y'all had some good players, but y'all can't keep them. And y'all still can't keep them. I mean, Coach Prime, he doing his best. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and that's how it is in life. Some people are not going to like you. But he's sitting up there. He made an accusation, though. He made an accusation that if it's true, it could get Coach Prime hemmed up. I don't think it's true, though. You think Shador and them is using Colorado funds to fly private jets? Do you think that's what they're doing? Because you know how they're saying that they're lacking money, the school is broke. Okay, so where the money going? Because when he got there year one, y'all talk about all this money y'all made. Where the money at though? Now they're in a deficit. I think they said, I don't know the exact number, but the Colorado football program itself need over 20 million just for this season. Yeah, Coach Ben had his money. So my thing is, if they made all this money the year one, where did the money go? Now, don't get me wrong, you have to split the pie up because you got the basketball team. The men's and women basketball team has been successful. So where's the money? They've both been successful. Getting into the NCAA tournament. So there's more that meets the eye in the background. But I mean, guys, you can't, you don't have to like, you gotta have respect for people. You do. You gotta have respect for people. But for him to say that, he really believes that. He really, and that was his way of exposing Coach Prime. He don't want Coach Prime there. He want him to get fired. No, he want Coach Prime to quit. That's not happening. I don't even know. I don't know in person. I know he not quitting. I ain't never seen him quit nothing. So that ain't happening. But he said that they're using the school money to take a private jet to go see Shador play. That's what he said. Yeah, man, man, he's really Irish. He must. And then here's the thing, because if I was coach, I'd be like, look, I would say to my new I'll say to my new offensive coordinator, you should have nothing to do with this guy. I know y'all met, but you have nothing to do with this guy, or you fired. I don't want him around my program. I don't want him to have nothing to do with recruiting. If you continue to have meetings with him, you are fired. I will fire you. Straight up. You need loyalty, especially in this type of situation. You need people in your inner circle that's straight loyal, yo, at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's sitting up there accusing him of misappropriating funds. That's what he's accusing him of. Misappropriating funds. I couldn't believe that. I was listening to him. I was like, yo, my eyes, oh, I said, what? He said, yeah, maybe if you're not using the school, something, and to go see your kid, get on a private jet to see your kid play. He said, at least you could wear, what did he say? At least you could wear some Colorado gear. He always saying that he not going after Coach Prime, but he is. He is. He can't help himself. He can't. He really don't like him. Estimated 27 million deficit. Yeah, I know. I read that 27 million deficit. I think other programs are in the deficit too. It just depends. That's a lot though. I wonder were they in a deficit before he got there. I believe they were, but then I when they first got there, I remember them talking about how they made so much money that year. You know, but I don't know. But hey, they're in a deficit, but that's why it's a lot of pressure to win. You know what I'm saying, in college football, because winning brings money. You know, it's a lot of pressure, but he do travel with them. I did hear them talking about that, like his private jets. Was that the one when Coach Prime was joking with him? He was talking about like you always in the picture, and they bought him a bag. Maybe that's who they talking about. He's a broker. You said what happened to ticket sales, merchandise sales, TV? Pete, I don't know. Your guess is good as mine. I don't know. But you know, we could go into why a college program is in a deficit because a lot of programs are. But NIL costs up to 20 million. Yeah, the players like to satisfy the rosters. I think they're asking for over 20 million just for the roster. You know, because that comprised of housing deals. You know, the players they provided housing. Remember, Coach said, "Don't we provide you housing and stuff?" All that costs. Yeah, of course, Michigan State is minus 40 million. Oh, they got a $401 million donation. Who donated it? Which company donated? Do you know? Yo, Michigan State about to be on top again. They're trying to get all their programs squared away. Basketball, everything. 401 million is enough to turn your basketball and football program around, men and women's basketball, shit, and baseball. 401 million. That's enough to turn the damn all the sports around. But yeah, a lot of colleges are in deficit. I mean, you know, that's just the way it is. Yeah, they probably cooking the books like that to make it look, yeah. And also that you could get donors that way too. Hey man, we in the debt, we need some money. There's a lot of ways. You said Michigan State loved their hockey. Shit. Remember they used to have. I remember when Mateen Cleaves was there, right? They had a good basketball team. Magic Johnson came from there. Shit, Michigan State could turn their programs all the way around. 401 million. It must have been Magic in them. Magic and them must have donated too. Him and his crew. You know, they got Magic as an alumni, so somebody donated. But they getting ready to turn that team around, believe that. And another team is getting ready to be turned around is Colorado State. Yeah, but I don't understand why did you hear when he said that, or am I tripping? Did you said I called Matt? Did you hear him say that though? Because you got to go back to his live chat and listen to it. Because I don't have the timestamp. But he went into one of his rants and he said, "Yeah, well, something about using the school and going to see your kid on a private jet, and at least you could wear Colorado gear when you up there in the stadium." Like, who is he? See, I'm telling you, man, they're rearing their ugly head. They think they're better than us. They think they could tell us how to live. That's how he feel on the inside. That's how he feel. It was taught. That type of hate is taught. You said they just hired a new offensive coordinator, making 1.5, and just hired a new AD, highest paid AD in university history. People wait. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. They the ones said they in the deficit though. They said that. They the ones said it. But yeah, I mean, it's one thing about the fight song, but he's accusing coach of misappropriating funds. That's what he's accusing him of now. He lucky I don't make a dedicated video on it. I might come back and say it. Colorado legend accuses Coach Prime of misappropriating funds. You know how much views that'll get? See, I didn't do that. I might do it. I might do it and come back and let you hear him say it. See, I'm not gonna repeat it. I'm gonna let him say it. He lucky I don't do that. I'm not gonna put words in his mouth. We'll listen to him say it. We'll listen. Because you know what? If that is true, that is a reason to fire Coach Prime with cause. Did y'all know that? That's if he didn't get permission from the university, that's a reason to fire him with cause, and you don't have to pay him the rest of the contract. But let's say if the university said, "No, Coach Prime, we got you. We gonna fly you out," then that's okay. But I'm telling you, he's been had money since the 1980s. He's been had money since the 1980s. He can fly his own self out. The fuck? He lucky I don't do it because if I do it, it'll get a lot of views. He lucky. You know what I'm saying? He the one said it because now I want to know, damn, is he misappropriating funds? Yo, coach, what's up, man? I know he's not, but that's how, I know how to do it. Coach over here misappropriating funds, y'all. You remember how like when you were a kid, I'm the kid that'll yell it out. Oh, he said this. I'll yell it out for you. Is that really what's going on? But we know that's not what's going on. That's how the Michigan coach, that's how Michigan got Coach Sharon. Well, they got him because I heard the players are not happy about it. That's why I'm waiting for January 2nd to see what these players are going to do. Now they did get they got winning. What's his name? They hired a high profile coach. So I think they're going to be okay because he's a pretty good coach. You said, nah, leave Matt alone. He's not even worth it. Yeah, I'm not going to do that because that'll cause a big stare. I'm not going to do that. See, by me saying in the live chat, nobody knows what timestamp I said that. So this is a little different because I'm talking to y'all. Because the average person, when they go back and watch the live chat, they're not going to hear this part. Because this is like, we're already an hour into the program. But he lucky I won't do it. Sound the alarm. Shit, he did save money going and not going on no recruiting trips. He did. Because they came to him. That is a good way to look at it. Shit, why spend all that money and it's no guarantee that the kid is going to sign? Regardless of the fact his philosophy, he did acquire Jimmy Horn, didn't he? Didn't he acquire Xavier Weaver? They're both in the NFL. Didn't he acquire LaJohntay Wester? He's with the Baltimore Ravens. Okay? BJ Green, even the guy that played for the Dolphins, what's his name? That came from Florida State. He's with the Dolphins. We ain't forget about him. He with the Miami Dolphins. And he came there, he was a part of the Louis Luggage. He was part of the first year team. He transferred in from Florida State. He is now in the NFL. He's with the Miami Dolphins. So, I mean, he got those players, so certainly he can get some more players. You know, maybe he don't have to go out and see him if he getting them NFL players like that. You said people can't realize how good that 2024, but yeah, they were good, bro. That was, I go back, I go back though. That team was, there's a bunch of NFL players on the team, man. That team was really good, man. Now you appreciate the fact what Shiloh brought to the table. Everybody appreciate it. I said, we're going to miss him when he leave. We're going to miss him. He was always at the ball. And Silman Craig. Travis. Man, they had the squad, dog. And Chidozie. Bro, they had the squad, yo. I never forget when they came out dressed in all black. I'll never forget that, yo. That was dope, yo. No, when they actually not the dress in all black, when they wore the retro jerseys. That was pretty dope. Now they can appreciate how good Shador really was. Let me tell you how good Shador really is. There's not that many jobs that go around in the NFL for a quarterback, and he's actually playing. That's how good he is. You got to be good to do that. That's how good he is. Now Shiloh, he probably, let me tell you this. He gonna make a lot of money doing entertainment. Sky's the limit for him. If he want to do acting, if he want to do like Destroying is doing, you know how Destroying built up his YouTube page. Shiloh is gonna do that. He has the personality for it. You know what I'm saying? He's entertaining. He know how to talk. You know what I mean? He has the overall. He's funny. You know what I'm saying? He has a sense of humor. He has the package. You know what I'm saying? So he could do whatever he want to do. He don't need football. He don't. He gonna be just like a Destroying, making a lot of money on YouTube. You said from QB5 to QB1, you got to be good to make it that way. You got to be good. You got to be extraordinary. So that goes to show how good that team was. Colorado could get a defensive line. So, like I said, they acquired the services of Chidozie. They could do it again. They're going to go get key players. This year is going to be a little different. Coach Prime is actually in the office. He's watching, and he knows the talent. So it'll be a little different this year. He'll get them. He'll build that foundation again. But like I said, with Matt, it's not about losing because he wasn't tripping when they only won one game. I didn't see him tripping. It's not that. I think he feel dissed because they don't want none of his players. You know what I'm saying? I think, and they don't want really nothing to do with him, really. Or maybe that's the situation. Because obviously that has to be the situation. He's sitting up there accusing coach. I might have to make a dedicated lie. I might do it, yo. Because I might do that. I might do that, yo. You don't accuse this coach of misappropriating funds, and I ain't gonna see. And I might not. I might let him live. I might not. Because I think he wasn't thinking before he talked. No, I think he did think before he talked. No, he meant to say that. He did. He meant to say that. Now, how does he know the school then be like, yo, coach, yo, take our jet, go over there and see Shador? You know what I'm saying? How he know they didn't do that? But how you know he didn't pay for it? He got money. Of course, he not flying commercial. I don't know when the last time he flew commercial. He got enough money to where he don't have to fly commercial. Don't he know that? He don't have to fly commercial, bro. He better go look at Shador endorsements. Yeah, he didn't get his NFL, but go look at his endorsements though. He got endorsements. He did get that Nike endorsement, didn't he? He sure did. Them people not hurting for money. I'm just telling you. You said Matt, I know he got dogs. See, that's the thing. I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know why they didn't take his dog. I don't know. They did take one. There's one guy from Colorado on the team. Yeah, he 100% know what he's saying. That's misappropriating funds. He think that's what they're doing. I don't think so. No, the school would have to approve that. How is Coach Prime dipping in money to go get him a private jet unless the school is paying for it? I don't know. Even if they are paying for it, what is it any business of his if the school is paying for his private jet to go see his son play? Yeah, Staub in the portal. Yeah, what business of is it of his? You know what I'm saying? How he paying for his private jet? Unless he's saying because the school, oh, maybe he's saying because the school is paying him a big salary. Maybe that's what he's saying. And now you can fly private jets. Sir, he's been flying private jets at Jackson State. Jackson State wasn't paying him nothing. And he was still flying private jets. Okay? And go find out that facility that Jackson State has now. Who paid for it? Go look. If he ain't got no money. You said, man, can they survive the wave? Is right. Now, we were talking about that contextual. You probably just came in. They're going to have to go find like some players that are hungry, that are ready to elevate right now. Because remember, they found Tafiq. So they got to go, it's going to be exciting though. January 2nd. It's going to be exciting. Because now we get to talk, yo, what about this player they picked up? What about this player? What about this player? You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Yeah, Matt ain't playing. Yo, Matt, it's up with Matt. It's up. Matt is not happy. Now, like I said, he might have a good enough reason. You see what I'm saying? Hey, I can't speak for that man, but hey, man, I don't know what he meant by it. He probably, maybe he meant that they paying him a huge salary, then that affords him to fly private. That don't make sense because Coach was flying private at Jackson State, so that doesn't make sense. That's not it. He's been flying private. Okay, so that's not it. Um, did you know the Denners? Remember when um the players used to go on the road and have dinner in their hotels at Jackson State? Coach used to pay for that. He also paid for their suits. It's a lot of money that he came with out of his pocket. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, he been it, bro. This man been, come on, man. I don't know, man. He must think because he's an older player, older players weren't getting money like that. He crazy. Don't he know what inflation is? The amount of money they invested back in the day is not the same price today. It's worth more. Come on, man. I don't know what they thinking. And he couldn't have think. Maybe he thinking that he just took the school. What he taking school funds to go get a private jet? But anyway, he really for him to say that he really mad. He's really mad about it. Now what he gonna say is, "Oh, we're being sensitive. We're prime sexuals." No, I'm not being sensitive. I'm repeating what you said. That's all I'm doing. I don't know you. They must have pissed him off really bad, man. Because he's saying that uh, the reason why they're not going after Colorado players is because of him. That's what he's saying. And it might make his brand look bad because the parents like, damn, I don't want my kid associated with you if they ain't trying to rock with us because of you. Maybe that's what he's thinking. I don't know. Yeah, because maybe the other parents like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like they not even trying to look at our kid, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. Yeah, he been flying private jet. Yeah, since the Atlanta Falcons, man. He had to fly private jet. Remember that time when he played football and baseball on the same damn day? I believe it was the same day. I can't remember because they did a whole story on it. After he played a game, no, he played the next day. He chartered a private jet and went to the baseball game. Man, Coach been flying private, man. Yeah, okay, it was both games in the same day. He took a helicopter. He's been he's been living lavish. He's been doing it. It's just that this guy don't know that because he was too young to know. He's been doing it. You said Louisiana has some dogs. Colorado needs to recruit Louisiana more. We gonna see January 2nd. You know what I'm saying? We gonna see what they got coming in. Can they revamp this team? Can they revamp this defensive line? Because as of right now, they're losing three players to the draft. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Wade, the kid is 6'4". He's gonna turn into a really good NFL player at that position. He's a hybrid, and he's always at the ball, meaning that he studies. So he's gonna be good. He's gonna make an NFL roster. Remember, I said it. And Arden Walker, they both making one. You said to have a private jet, you need a net worth of 30 million at least. No, he don't own a jet. He rent them. He don't own one. He charters the jets, and it's not actually compared like realistically speaking, it's not that much money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they have apps you can use, and you can pool. You can pool private jets. It's not like a small jet. It fits like maybe 8 people. You can rent jets like that too. You said Taj McCoy is back in the portal. I thought he was graduating. Yeah, anyone can charter a private jet. It's like $3,000 to $5,000. That's right, Tremaine. They have an app for it. Shit, I could charter a private jet if I wanted to, which I am going to do eventually for my next not this next birthday coming up. I'm gonna charter a private jet. So I don't know. And so I'm gonna do it for a birthday present. Actually, I don't like doing that, to be honest with you. I'm like Michael Irvin. I don't like private jets. I flew on one before and I was nervous as fuck. A friend of mine I grew up with, his parents is loaded. We chartered a private jet to Miami. I was silent the entire time. Everybody was talking, being festive, and then they were whispering to themselves. They said, "Is he okay?" They said, "I don't think so." They said, "Can you offer him a drink or something?" Like, because I was sitting in the back, but I was looking out the window the whole time. So then his mother came and sat next to me. She said, "You might want to just close the shade to the window. Are you okay?" I said, "I'm okay." She said, "I don't think you are." She said, "You're not talking, you're not moving, nothing." And she's like, "Just close the shade." I said, "I'm not closing the shade." She said, "Okay." And then they just left me alone. Yeah, I'm like Michael Irvin, yo. I don't like private jets. I don't. You said Taj had buyer's remorse. He never should have left. What team he go to? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He must be thinking like the jets are really expensive. Now that one that Shador was on was expensive. You remember Shador had came, he only had 3 steps to his. You remember when he came in to get treatment? Remember Bucky was making fun of him? Like, damn, you only had 3 steps to get in your private jet. Now see, that's the private jet that you take when you are a quarterback in the NFL. See, Shador left as an NCAA player and he came back as an NFL motherfucking quarterback. Then he looked different. He got bigger and everything. He looked different. That kid came back to the university as an NFL quarterback. You know how extraordinary you got to be an NFL quarterback? He came in as an NFL quarterback. He looked there big and everything. He didn't look the same. But he had the jet where you had the 3 steps. That's a little bit more expensive, you feel me? That's a little bit more expensive. And I know the team might have chartered that jet for him. But well, he might have did it himself. Yeah, he don't even look the same. I mean, he was towering over her when she hugged him. He don't look the same. That man. That's awesome, man. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, private jets, man. It's like anybody could charter one. Like I said, they have the app where you can pool the private jet. Like you and a few other people can pay for the private jet together, and it'll be cheaper. You could do it like that too. I forget the Jet. It has an X on it. That brand. You could do it that way too. But I don't know. It's just the way the Jet took off. It was a lot faster than a regular plane. It felt like it was faster. That thing zooted up into the sky. I was not used to that. I'm used to getting on bigger planes. But it was okay. I got used to it. I had to get used to it. I had to fly back. Yeah, I didn't realize Taj McCoy back in the portal. Let's see where he end up. But I think it's still going to be exciting tonight. You know what I'm saying? New Year's. What do you guys got planned for New Year's? What do you guys got going on, man? Happy New Year to everybody, by the way. I appreciated you guys rocking with me for this new year. We're going to be doing a lot more, obviously, um, coming up. But yeah, it's been a hell of a year. Um, yeah, it's been a hell of a year. And yeah, we're going to go from there. 2026, leaving San Diego on the way to San Fran. Okay, safe travels. He said Shador been working out privately with his strength coach who lives with him. He grew up with him. I know you're talking about. And I like how they do that. They keep, their circle close like that. Yeah, New Year's. Um, see what happens. I was gonna go to Times Square, but I'm not doing it. Nope. Nope, because I don't feel good about it. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. There people out there now waiting. They asked this one guy, so what are you gonna do if you gotta go to the bathroom? He said, because you'll lose your spot, right? He said, yeah, I'll lose my spot. Because he's right near the action. He said he peeing on himself. He using like what? You gonna pee on like I don't listen. Just to be close to the ball when it drops. They let people out there last night to get online. So they've been out there all night. And he said you just gotta pee on yourself. I can't believe he said that, yo. Like I don't want to be that close to the action for nothing. You're gonna be stinking. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with people, man. I'm good, yo. He must have been paid. He must have been a paid person. I can't see no regular person doing that. Well, we'll see what happens January 2nd, because some might get out the portal. We'll see. Or some just might be just going elsewhere. Let me just say this. Like if you're a kid where you may not make the NFL, but you got a chance to make eight, $900,000, I'm gonna go get that money. You know what I'm saying? Because you can always invest it and make something. Because I know what I'll do. But you said they have the new Louis bags coming. Shit, the Louis bags coming. They gotta have the Louis bags coming. Shit, they coming. You got to acquire the luggage. You got to go acquire it. You said some just want to play at a lower division school. No, most of these players, some of these like Tafi, he's not going to a lower division school. He's like a SEC player. He's not going to a lower division. He's gonna go somewhere big. It's not lower. Or they go somewhere where they know they're gonna get a huge bag. But some of them just leave them. Just I don't know. They got many reasons to leave. I don't know. Shit, if somebody say to me like, "Yeah, Max, we'll give you 2.6 to come with us," I'm like, "I love you, coach, but you heard me. I love you, coach, man. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go. I gotta go. Peace, y'all. Peace. You know what I'm saying?" You said that new hire coach bringing his group of players with him. Now, are they going to translate over to the Big 12? We'll see. You said where they can play. Listen, I'm where they paying me. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like that. How much y'all paying over here? Okay, 2.6. I'm over here. Unless Colorado can match it. I'm like, coach, can y'all match this? Nah, I don't know about that. All right, I got to go, coach. No hard feelings. No hard feelings, you hear me? No hard feelings. Peace. And look, I'll make the announcement, guys, with further thought and talking to my family. I have decided to enter the transfer portal. I'd like to thank Colorado Coach Prime and all the coaches. You know how they do. I have 2 years left of eligibility to make this money. No, I wouldn't say that. Like, I would say like I got 2 years of eligibility left, and I'm going to make some money. That's it. I don't know yet, Peter. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. If he leaves, somebody offered. I wouldn't blame him because I know somebody's offered him a hell of a bag. I know they are. What if somebody's offering him $8 million? Like, what do you think they're going? What do you think? I'm taking it. I'm like, coach, ain't no hard feelings, but damn, I got to take this. I'm not stupid. I got to take this money. I'm sorry. I'd be like, guys, with further consideration, talking to my family, um, I decided to enter the transfer portal with 2 years left of eligibility. Thank you, Coach Prime, for the opportunity. I'll be out, yo. Coach will understand. Listen, don't think Coach Prime don't understand, yo. Like, Coach, I got to go get this money, man. I got to go get this money, big dog. You said Colorado gonna match. All right, if they match, I'll stay. I love it here at Colorado. I love the atmosphere. This is the best place on earth to play college football. I'll be saying all that. They give me 8 million. This is the best place on earth to play college football. I love the coaches here. Shit, you give me millions of reasons to promote. I know all the letters sound the same. Yeah, you say he's too valuable. We'll see. But somebody might offer something that he can't refuse. That type of situation, which is not always, nothing wrong. You can't blame them for taking the money. I can't blame them because I would too. I am not lying to you. If Lane Kiffin them say, "Listen, Max, we got 5 million for you," I said, "No, I'm not. I'm not even in the portal, Coach. I know you're not. No, first he's like, hey man, we need you over here at LSU. I told Coach, I'm good over here at Colorado. You know what I'm saying? We coming again. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? We on our way. Yeah, we got 5 million. I said, you got how much? He said, we got five. I was like, all right, cool. Guys, I prayed over this. I talked to my family about it. I decided to enter the transfer portal with 2 years left eligibility. Yo, I'll be out, man. I'm sorry. You said Colorado has money. I don't know the way people talking about in the deficit and shit. I don't know. I hope they do. Nearly talking about we'll let him go and go get three people for the price of one. That don't sound like you got money. That don't sound like you got a lot. Shit, we getting three people for the price of one and hope one makes out. Nah, I don't know. That don't sound right. That don't sound right. That don't sound right. But yeah, I could see Seaton staying. Yeah, I would think the university and Coach Prime so fast. Shit, 5 million. I like thank Coach Prime for the opportunity. Thank you, Colorado. I'm always going to be a buff. I'm out. 2 years left of eligibility. I don't know if they got plenty of money. I don't know. I don't know. Three people for the price of one talking. That don't sound right. Why can't you just pay the man? You know what I'm saying? He worth it. See, that's how I think. You know what I'm saying? But if they go get three people the price of one, we'll see. But yeah, they seem like they do got a bag. The players, I be seeing them. They got the little Louis Vuitton bags and little jewelry, little neck piece. That's funny. You know when the players start getting money, this is hilarious. What do? The first thing they do is go get them a neck piece. That's the first thing they do. Okay? They get them a little jewelry. And the next thing you know, they get them a little car. They give them a little Hellcat. You see what I'm saying? Give them a little Hellcat. See, that's the starter package. Get a little Hellcat, you know, and yeah, that's the starter package. Get your little Hellcat, you tint it out, tint the window, the front window shield, everything tinted. Unless you bougie like Travis, go get you a Tesla. But no, Travis got the truck, but you got to get the starter package. That's how it is. It's crazy. I be seeing it, not just at Colorado. I see it at other universities. Other universities. Go get him a little denim tears outfit. You feel me? Now you have arrived. But see, the players want to be comfortable. You gotta make them comfortable. It's like many professional. Now I heard somebody say, "Why don't we have contracts?" They can't do that because now it's a professional situation. Now they're not college athletes anymore. So I don't know how if the colleges are going to be able to do that. To try to keep them there. Like, okay, you signed 3 years for this much and we got you for the 3 years. I don't think they're going to be able to do that. to try to ensure that you keep some of your dogs. You said CU has to pay the other sports. Remember, Shador gave Seaton a Maybach. Did he really give him that? I know people keep saying, or did he buy it himself? Damn, that's a hell of a thing to Shador to do. Did he buy that or Shador? I don't know. I know he has one. You said they had three defensive line coaches. Yeah, they do have three defensive line. But see, when the other players see that they may not want a Maybach. They want to be comfortable too. You know. But yeah, man, it's the way it is in college sports. But anyway, guys, I'll be back a little later. Happy New Year. If I don't talk to you, Happy New Year. But I'm gonna be back in a few hours. But Happy New Year anyway, if you guys are not around. And we definitely gonna talk in the new year because that'll be the day before the portal opens up, January 1st. It'll open up the 2nd. So I'll definitely talk to you January 1st, but because that'll be the countdown for the portal. I may come back later on that night for midnight to see if the players enter the portal after midnight. We'll see. But yeah, we definitely gonna be talking about that portal news. It's a lot to talk about. Has anybody else entered the portal today? Um, I didn't check. You said two running back coaches on the roster. You said they are heading to contracts. It'll be interesting, the outcome of the lawsuit. Yeah, we'll see because the contracts will be different because that'll now you're locking the kid down to the school. Like let's say if you offer a kid 5 million, but that 5 million is for over 2 years, so he's definitely locked down for 2 years or 3 years. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. We'll see. We'll see. Because right now, it's who has the most money. Like, for example, let's say with Jordan Seaton, I'm not saying he leaving. What if Lane Kiffin come to him and say, I got 10 million for you? He'll be a fool not to take it. 10 million? Just for one season? Hell yeah, I'm taking it. For one season? 10 million? And I'm guaranteed to start? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But he may get it where he's at. You know what I'm saying? He may not have to leave. Or he might be thinking it like this. No, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to get that money when I get to the NFL anyway. You just know every situation is different. But that's how it is. I'm just giving that example. The people that got the most money, they're going to be outbidding people. So, when your player gets good, you don't build your player up. Now he's commanding a huge bag. He leaves. So everybody dealing with it. So maybe they will put something in place to where they may have contracts. I don't agree with that though, but I guess they're heading that way. But anyway, guys, Happy New Year. I will talk to you guys on a little later, but if not, Happy New Year to you. I'll see you on the 1st. That's right before for the portal opens up. All right, y'all.